Well, my friends, it's been a while since I've done a live, and man, it feels good to shake off the old boots and get back into the game here. Really looking forward to hanging out weekly with some Modern Lending Labs live. There's a really amazing internal coaching program being rolled out at Loan Depot called the Modern Lending Lab, where we get together monthly and just talk strategies, get in there with best practices, tactics, all the fun stuff. And this is also an introduction, an invitation to all you out there that you're welcome to join the lab. It's going to be public facing, fully open-ended, just kind of this industry collaboration opportunity. So obviously there'll be a ton of Loan Depot people there, but everyone's going to be invited. And I figured why not kick off a Modern Lending Lab live with a conversation that's been happening for years that apparently we're having again. And so I titled this one Rocket, Redfin, and the Knight in Shining Armor, just as a fun way to engage the same topic we've been diving into for what feels like a decade plus, which is this war and attention and fight for the consumer's awareness. So one of the things I talk about a lot when I'm coaching and training is I start with this kind of quippy question of, think of an insurance company. And the second I do that, man, people can immediately have an insurance company jumps into their head. It instantly, they're like, oh, Geico, State Farm, whatever it is. And then I ask people like, well, why did you think of that insurance company? And do you even use them? And they go, well, no, I didn't. I don't use them. They popped in my head. What's up, Michael? Good to see you, buddy. And this, speaking of a guy who's been super active and verbal on social media, Michael's been a champion of what's going on right now. But my point is, the reason that you think of an insurance company instantly is because of brand awareness and recognition. They have won the consumer attention game, whatever brand in your head that's popping out, because they have showed up repeatedly and made an impact on you. And man, the war for consumer attention is just elevating every year. So let's just talk about the history of this for a second. And I want to go back. I want to go back to 2018. 2018 in October, when Zillow acquired Mortgage Lenders of America. Now, I follow Zillow very closely. I assume anybody in real estate and mortgage would follow Zillow very closely. They are one of the best companies at grabbing consumer attention that I've ever seen. Their ability to take what was private, the MLS, multiple listing services private, and become the main stage for the deployment of that to the consumer is a massive victory for them. But interestingly enough, in 2018, they jump into mortgage. Now, before they were more of a referral network, now they're wholly owned mortgage. And in Q3 2024, on an earnings call, Jeremy said this: we see a long growth plan ahead for mortgages because of this enhanced market strategy. And when you dive into their plan, what they're talking about is how to bring the digital customer who is on Zillow's platform, checking stuff out, into their ecosystem to capture not just a real estate referral opportunity, but eventually potentially the entire real estate opportunity, plus not just a mortgage referral opportunity, but entire mortgage transaction opportunity. And it's fascinating because they've gone on to say this in one of their shareholder letters. Zillow has identified a trend where 40% of shoppers begin the process by looking for a lender, and 80% of them don't have a real estate agent, which is actually dead on to our internal numbers here at Loan Depot. We are tracking it at 77%, but we'll round up because I'm a mortgage guy. That of the digital customers that we intercept and bring into our ecosystem have not selected their real estate agent. So they've been seeing this from 2018. Rocket's been seeing this for just as long. And so let's talk about the Rocket Redfin situation that's come up. That's in everybody's feed everywhere else, but we're going to just launch from there into what was relevant for originators. But we got to kind of lay the groundwork. So Varun said this, right? Together, we will improve the experiences after the Redfin acquisition by connecting traditionally disparate steps of the search and financing process with leading technology that removes friction. In other words, they're looking at a future where the home buying process is fully integrated, combining home search, financing, and closing into a streamlined experience. Now, I've been hearing that from Zillow for 2008, do the math, years now. And of course, Rocket's has been paying attention also. Very smart people, very strong organization. Hi, Jennifer. Thank you. So what does all this mean? Well, this means what we've all known for decades, it feels like. I mean, good Lord, I started going live and making videos in 2018 because I saw the same thing. I hope everyone else is seeing, which is this is a fight for human attention. That's all it has been. That's all it will be. I say this one line, and I hope this one sticks in your brain. I say this because it's my core belief in how I operate and how I view the world. The game hasn't changed. The place we play the game has changed. And to take that another level deeper, right? I was born and brought into this industry as a street originator. Nights, weekends, open houses, broker previews, calling agents, pop buys, milk runs, whatever you want to call it, belly to belly, face to face, is how I came up in this industry. It was burned into my soul. This is a relationship-based industry. And if you build great relationships with your customers and your realtors, you're going to build a great career. Fair? Anyone else like that? We all there? I still believe this today. The game hasn't changed. I still deeply believe this is a relationship-based game. The place that we're playing it has changed. And this is what's interesting to me. I'll share this. If the place we're playing the game has changed and we're now online, why aren't you? And again, this is a direct conversation to originators in the street. Now, you might say, Alec, I am online. I'm doing stuff. Okay, I'm going to unpack all this and really make something simplistic for everybody. So who remembers this, man? No, this is it. I got to play this way. Know you, like you, trust you. So this has been the game, right? This has been the whole game. Your opportunity as an originator is to get as many people to know you as possible, to let your actual personality out a little bit so they figure out if they like you, and to build trust to establish a place where you can get business. And so I like to think of it as this kind of circular world, right? Where the know you is a bubble, and the objective of marketing and sales and all this relationship strategy is to grow this bubble as big as humanly possible. And in the glory days, we did this one-to-one. And meaning I went to broker previews one-to-one. I shook hands. Hello, nice to meet you. Next house, nice to meet you. I sent people emails, texts, one-to-one. I went out and had business meetings, one-to-one. I mailed people something physical in the mail, one-to-one. And through all those one-to-one actions, I created a reputation. I created a brand, a personal brand before there was a digital brand in my community. And it didn't have that name back then, but I'll lap it on now. And what I did was I expanded this bubble out of everyone who knew me. And in my local market, that gave me this chance to take that inner bubble of the like you bubble and blow that out. Trust me, as I went out and expanded my reach one-to-one, lots of people got to know me. Not everybody liked me. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. This is a real thing. There are people that you just naturally like. There are people that you're naturally like, I don't vibe with this person. It doesn't make you a terrible person. It just makes you a normal human. And so in this process, though, of expanding out the know you, people didn't like me. And then as people liked me, they just realized I built that trust over time through consistency. That's a whole nother TED Talk. We can get into that. But changed the game for me in my origination career. I did a lot of loans, top 1%, Scotsman's Guide, all that stuff. Fast forward, the game has changed. We're now predominantly digital. Let me share this. You'll love this. I'll make myself real small so you can read this. By the way, if you're not using like AI to pull up stats, you're just losing your game. But this is straight from AI, so I'm not taking credit, but it's actually from the National Association of Realtors. Most recent data, 2024. 100% of home buyers uses the internet at some point. Okay, great. National Association of Realtors goes on to say 47% of home shoppers began looking for properties online. 17% of home shoppers first contacted a real estate agent. Now, you do the math. It's not mathing. Where's the other percentage? What are they doing? Are they driving around? I don't know. It wasn't in this thing. But I actually will challenge this data. I don't think it's 47% of home shoppers started looking at the properties online. I think it's way higher. I don't know where they're getting the data. This is Alec talking, not ChatGPT. But I think it's way higher, the amount of people who are starting the process of finding a home online. And what does this mean? It means you need to be online. So let's unpack this. Should you abandon your one-to-one efforts? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Don't get it twisted. You 100% need to double down on your one-to-one physical. By the way, that's your advantage over call centers. That's your advantage over a digital like mortgage professional, because you can actually get physical with somebody, walk into an open house, meet someone for lunch, meet someone for coffee. This is an unbelievable advantage. You should be taking advantage of it all day long. Now, there's a one-to-many strategy now. that has now emerged in this new digital landscape. And the big companies, the Rockets, the Redfins, the Zillows, et cetera, to some degree, the Loan Depots, the G-Rates, they're doing what they can, what we can, to get digital and win the hearts and minds of the customer in that platform, 100%. That's why people run commercials. That's why people do digital activations. That's why there's social media. That's the game. Everyone's playing it. And then the question is, to what level are you playing it? And this is my kind of punchline for the rest of this live session, which is the knight in shining armor. The knight in shining armor in all the classical stories is this magical rescuer that's coming in from out of nowhere to save the day. That's the knight in shining armor. They're showing up to fix the problem, to slay the dragon, to defeat the bad guy. They're not coming. They're not coming for you. They're not coming to save a localized mortgage professional. They're not coming. There is no knight in shining armor. In fact, I'm going to go deeper on this. There's no technology save that's coming. Are there cool technologies out there that you could be leveraging? Of course. Is there one that's going to save your career? No. I get the chance to talk to all of our new hires at Loan Depot and onboard them and talk about our value proposition and what we're doing, and the vision, all that stuff. And I asked this, I go, have any of you had the intrusive thought? And this is all the loan officers. Have any of you loan officers had the intrusive thought that you're just here for a couple more years before the robot overlords take your job? Think about this for a second. If you're listening to this now or in the future, and you've had that intrusive thought, tell me, hey, I got 3 to 5 more years before the robots take over. Joking but not joking, terrified that AI, tech, big company, they're coming in and they're going to take your lunch and they're going to take your business. Have you had that thought? If you're honest with yourself, a lot of sales professionals, mortgage, real estate, et cetera, have had that thought. The knight in shining armor is not coming to save you. There's only literally one person who can save you, and it's yourself. Not a surprise. No one's having an aha moment right now. But how? What do you do? What are the options? Do you just let your business slowly devolve away as these mega organizations do more and more effort to take the attention of your customer before you got one choice, my friends. You can either hold on to what you got, just hold on to it, and just hope it doesn't slip away by new strategies, new companies, new mergers, or you can get to work. I'm going to go back in time, and then we're going to land this ship for you. My first boss ever, Kevin Buddy, 2003. Old school mortgage banker. 2003 was a massive refinance boom. Lots was going on in the mortgage industry back then. I was 22, 21, just out of college, sitting down behind this guy. What can I do? Had glorious hair. And he told me something that I've never forgotten. He said, Alec, the number of loans that you originate every single day is going to be directly proportionate to the number of realtors that you see face to face every day. The number of loans you originate every day is going to be correlate and connected to the number of realtors you see face to face every single day. Hammer that in my head. So what did I do? I got in my car and I drove around, open houses, broker previews. I tried to get agents face to face, face to face, face to face, face to face. As I did all that, I learned that I was building relationships. As I did all that, I learned that I was expanding out this know you bubble bigger and bigger and bigger. And that I was finding out that people liked me, didn't like me, and I was building trust through consistency and all these life lessons that I packed down now through that effort over a year's time of just grinding it out. But the main thing I realized was, man, sales is uncomfortable. Uncomfortable. I tell this story all the time. I pulled up 23 years old to the #1 real estate agent's open house on a Sunday. And I looked into the open house and oh my God, there was the #1 agent in Orange County. It's hard to find these people sometimes. They have teams. There they were, right there in the house. I sat out in front of that house for 10 minutes. I turned on jock jams to try to pump myself up. And I literally drove away because I was too insecure and afraid and uncomfortable just to even go in and introduce myself to this person. Sales is dramatically uncomfortable. Remember the age-old saying, get comfortable with being uncomfortable? The game hasn't changed. The place we're playing it has changed. And now it's here. I'm not getting into the stats on how social media and YouTube and phones are absolutely the battlefield of today's attention war. That needs to be understood by everybody. I can't spend an hour on this. Please just use the Google and you'll know this. The stats are there. It's undeniable. The war zone for attention is right here. And yes, should you continue to double down on the body-to-body, face-to-face, one-to-one stuff? Absolutely. But now you can do one-to-many. Now, you can have a YouTube strategy. You can have a social media strategy. You can have an e-blast strategy that doesn't suck. Please. I don't want to get into that on this session. We'll talk about it in the lab later. But man, email can be terrible, but it can be done really well. You need to have a direct message strategy. You need to leverage the digital tools to get one-to-many to continue to push this out this way as big as you can, because guess what? The big dogs aren't stopping. They're telling you their playbook. They deliver quarterly earnings and then literally tell you what they're trying to do. What's up, Scott? We're bringing it today. So what are you going to do? And if you think, I'm going to bring it in real close. If you think, for the love of God, one video a week is going to do it, you are so mistaken that you're just never going to achieve the level of success you're capable of. Never. If you think, oh, I make one video on the internet and I did it. That is not a strategy. If you want to win at the highest levels you're capable of, you've got to get your frequency and your activity and your actions through the roof. You got to get so visible, so big, so vibrant, so passionate about what you care about and what you do that you can compete against the noise that is coming at your customer from the mega giants with the billion-dollar marketing budgets. And as the previous CMO of a big marketing budget, I would know. Does this make sense? It's crystal, someone's stop calling me. It's crystal clear to me. The modeling lab that we're, again, this is modeling labs launching for Loan Depot next month, and we're going to make it public. Anyone can attend. I don't care if you're at Loan Depot or not. If you're a localized pro and you're trying to figure out how to be better and how to drive influence and how to build brand, you're welcome into the lab. We're going to be really diving into how to improve our platforms, how to improve our strategies. But I'm just going to land it with this. If you think about my first question I asked, which was, think of an insurance company. And that insurance company popped into your brain. Maybe an insurance company you don't even work with. They popped into your brain. They won the attention game through what means? Come with me on this. How did they win? How do they earn that space, the headspace in your brain? How do they get there? Frequency, repetition. And they showed up where you were. That's it. Frequency, repetition, and they showed up where you were. Now, there's some delineation here in creativity, and because but stay with me on this. They showed up where you were. They built that knowledge, and they stuck in your brain because you liked their angle, their creativity, whatever else. This is science. This is documented. This has billions of dollars flowing around it and how this is done to earn your headspace, to earn the right to live in your brain. And if you are a lender today, a mortgage professional, and you're not doing everything you can with as much fervent enthusiasm as you can muster to do the same thing, you're going to minimize your chance for success, and you're just going to be holding on to the old way of doing things that is not going to work. You're going to be diminished. On the flip side, holy crap, what an opportunity. What a chance for anybody to blow up their careers to heights they've never dreamed of. You see, remember, in the one-to-one strategy, I really could only get to so many open houses between 1 and 4 o'clock on a Saturday and Sunday. It's only had 1 to 4 o'clock. So I'm hauling around trying to get there. I'm limited by my geography, but the internet has no geography. The internet has no 1 to 4 time restrictions. It's a 24-hour ecosystem that you get to hang out in all the time. Do you think this live matters in the sense that I'm live at this moment? No, because I just published that I was going to be going live yesterday. So, and I'm a nobody. So nobody's like looking around being like, oh my God, guys, let me text my buddies. Alex going live tomorrow. Let me tune in. It's the same. The power of this piece of content that I'm making right now is that it's going to continue to live on and on and on. And people are going to see it later. And people are going to see it later. And then it'll diminish itself into the internet and disappear. But I'll show up again. And I'll show up again. And I'll show up again. If you're not picking up what I'm putting down, let me just spell it out like we're all in kindergarten. You need to be making digital content every single day and putting it out on as many platforms as you can handle with a strategy that you care about and that matters to you. I can unpack that further, but that's it. I can go into what is a good strategy and what is not, but you need to be posting content every single day on every single platform that you can physically, muscularly get out to with a strategy that you are proud of, that is defined and foundational to every message you're making. If you can do that, the sky's the limit. Everything else after that is literally just like details. Alec, how do I get my content to reach more people? That's details. You're not even making content. You don't even believe yet. I feel like I'm coming down with the tablets right now, being like, have you guys seen what's happening in the world today? Are you paying attention to this? There's no savior coming. Your job is to save yourself. And the roadmap is clear as day because it's given to you by every company and every major like sales and like insurance company. The playbook is there for everybody. It's already written. You got to write your page and execute. I hope this gives somebody out there a little bit of enthusiasm and motivation and excitement to start. I hope those of you that are interested in joining the Modern Lending Lab will reach out and we'll get you the details. And you can come hang out with a bunch of originators who are trying to figure this out too, because this whole game is always evolving. The game hasn't changed. The place we play it in has changed, in so that we now need to learn new stuff. And if the fact that I said you have to make a piece of content every day and put it out on the internet made you massively uncomfortable, if that happened and you were like, ooh, welcome to sales, baby. This is the game. When has it not been the game? If it makes you uncomfortable, you should be like, oh, it's probably pretty right. Oh, I got to make a video every single day and put it out there and talk about my opinions and try to help people. Yeah. Yeah. If you want what's on the other side, which is relevance, connection, opportunity, success. I guess I'll leave with one more thing. Once I'm going, it's hard to stop, but I got to stop. I'm not going over 30 minutes, 23 minutes. The biggest piece of optimism I can share with you, like the thing that you should get most excited about, is not the uncomfortableness. I know that stuff sucks. I hate it. You hate it. We all hate it. You got to figure out how to run towards the roar and figure that out. And you have, because you're successful in sales today. So you figured it out, but you got to do it again. But here's the really cool part about the internet. Okay, I'm going to put this up again. The really cool part about this whole thing. One of the things I know that holds people back from prolific content strategies, from putting themselves out there, is fear and insecurity that no one's going to like what you say, and imposter syndrome. And what if you say something wrong? And I have a face for radio, and I don't like what I look like and sound like, and all the insecurities that just come flying in. What if nobody likes me? The greatest thing I can share with you about the internet is that the real trolls don't really exist, my friends. The haters don't really exist. I would have found them over the last 7-8 years because I'm loud. They would have been all over me and yelling at me and telling me I'm an idiot, and they don't. Okay, so it doesn't happen. They just ignore you and block you and move on. You don't even know. But man, you're going to find in this broad, vast world that the internet gives you access to for the first time, that there are thousands and thousands and thousands of potential people who are going to like you for who you are. It's a bigger audience. Does that make sense? It's a bigger audience. If you get to show up for a bigger audience, yeah, it can be awkward. Some of the people aren't going to like you. But, okay, but you're never going to know. They're just going to move on. But man, people are, and you're going to find this huge pool of more like-minded people who appreciate what your viewpoints are, who appreciate your effort and desire to help people, who appreciate the services you provide. The pool's just bigger. And that means there's more, it's more likely that you're going to find your tribe than less likely. That's just such an, like, I get so, like, it's so much positivity in that, so much opportunity in that. And thank you, Kate, for the comment. Yeah, I mean, it's all of us, right? Like, the more we put ourselves out there in any industry, the more opportunity we get. Yes, the more friction there is. Yeah, of course, the more haters there are, that they just disappear. But of course, the more awkward and uncomfortable we feel. But man, all the opportunity is there. So if you are serious, then wake up, because everyone else is already moving. So get in the game, and we'll help you, meaning all of us. We're on the internet together. All right. I'll see you in the lab or next week. Have a good day.